$200 Samsung Galaxy Watch Active give you just as good of a workout as the $400 Apple Watch? We put them through some heavyweight challenges to find out.
This is Apple Watch Series 4 versus Samsung Galaxy Watch Active.
Let's start with design, and here it really comes down to the round versus square question. Except unlike the original Galaxy Watch, the Active doesn't have that fancy rotating bezel.
The Apple Watch gives you the option of a 40 or 44mm watch face, while the Galaxy Watch Active only comes in one 39.5mm version. It's also slightly lighter and thinner than both sizes of the Apple Watch.
Both offer different metal finishes and swappable bands to personalize your look, but the Galaxy Watch Active has way more watch faces to choose from.
We've been testing these smartwatches out for about a week at this point, kind of switching back and forth. And Lexi, last time when we tested out the traditional Galaxy Watch, it was a no-brainer. For me, when it came to design, I was drawn to that round watch face and the rotating bezel of the Galaxy Watch. This time around, I'm a little bit less clear as to which one I prefer. I still love that round watch face on the Galaxy Watch Active, but because it's more bare bones now, it does look a little bit cheap.
And it is like almost half the price.
Which is why we love it. Which is why we love it.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not surprising that it feels a little bit like less premium than the Apple Watch.
So in that case, I might just go with the Apple Watch for the design, just aesthetically, in my opinion.
Well, I think I love the Galaxy Watch Active way more than the Apple Watch when it comes to the look and the feel. The only thing that I really didn't like about the Galaxy Watch Active was the size of the bezel. Obviously, when you had the actual rotating bezel on the original Galaxy Watch, it was hiding that. But now you can actually see like where the screen ends and where the edge of the watch actually starts to begin. The Apple Watch is more edge to edge. But then the Galaxy Watch Active is so much lighter to wear, especially if you're doing a workout. I feel like I can always feel when the Apple Watch is on my wrist. The Galaxy Watch Active, I just feel like it's so light. I hardly even notice it's there, which is great, especially if I'm doing something really high intensity. I never feel like I'm actually tracking it. I'm just doing my thing. The Apple Watch, I'm like, oh, it's kind of a little heavy. It's always there. These watches have almost everything when it comes to fitness features. The Apple Watch has 14 workout types built in, while the Galaxy Watch has 39. They can automatically detect certain workouts, and they're both water resistant up to 50 meters to track your swims.
Both watches have an optical heart rate sensor for tracking calories burned and other health features. The Galaxy Watch Active also uses it to detect sleep and stress, while the Apple Watch uses it for the ECG or electrocardiogram app, and it notifies you of high or irregular heart rhythms that may signal something more serious. The Apple Watch also uses its sensors for fall detection.
What the Galaxy Watch Active has over the Apple Watch, at least natively, is sleep tracking. I didn't think I was a big fan of sleep tracking until I've tried it on the earlier Galaxy Watch and now the Galaxy Watch Active. It gives you a great breakdown of specs, whereas on the Apple Watch, it's only available through a third-party app, and I just didn't find it was giving me the same level of accuracy that the Galaxy Watch was. Say, for example, I was awake one night for maybe like 30 minutes to an hour. It always feels like an eternity. The Galaxy Watch knew I was awake. The third-party app on the Apple Watch just didn't. It was like you had a great night's sleep, and no, I did not. Yeah. So hopefully first-party sleep tracking is coming soon to the Apple Watch through a watchOS update or even the Series 5. So fingers crossed for that. But what about some of the other health features?
When it comes to the fitness tracking though, I did have a couple issues with the Galaxy Watch Active. I like looking at my heart rate when I'm exerting myself on a run, for example. If I'm going uphill or if I'm doing a sprint, I always look down to make sure that I'm like reaching my max and my max heart rate. The Apple Watch is not perfect, but it catches up pretty quickly, whereas the Galaxy Watch, it takes about 8 minutes into my run to start detecting my heart rate. And then once I'm like going, it takes a while to catch up to my actual heart, whereas the Apple Watch does it a lot faster. And that makes me question the accuracy of the calorie tracking and the fitness tracking in general of the Galaxy Watch Active. I could be wrong, it's just that made me question it. Because they both offer very interesting health features. The Apple Watch launched the EKG or ECG, the electrocardiogram app, where you can take it from your wrist and You can also have those notifications of the high heart rate, low heart rate, and irregular heart rate. And then the Galaxy Watch saw that, and they're like, we're gonna raise your EKG and we're gonna get blood pressure on the watch. And I was like, oh my God, that's so exciting. But then it turns out there's a lot of caveats. It's still very much in beta. You have to sign up to be part of this study, and then you have to go through a huge long process. Then you have to calibrate it with an actual cuff. It's more like, come join us on this experiment, because it's not a full-fledged working blood pressure monitor, contrary to the EKG app on the watch. Like, Apple went through the studies, they got the FDA clearance. It seems just like a finished, mature product, and I think that speaks as a metaphor for the watch itself.
Both mirror notifications from your phone. You can text, place a call, and have a variety of third-party apps to choose from, which is basically everything you'd expect from a smartwatch. The Galaxy Watch Active works with both Android and iOS devices. The Apple Watch only works with other Apple products. Both have GPS, and the Apple Watch has an LTE version that costs $100 more, so you can get texts and call without your phone. And only the Apple Watch has a built-in speaker. The Galaxy Watch lets you dictate texts and use a voice assistant, but it does rely on the phone to take calls. The Galaxy Watch Active has an immediate advantage that's really clear, is that it works with both iOS and Android. That being said, of course, if you're pairing the Galaxy Watch Active with an iOS device, you don't get as many of the functions and the ease of replying to notifications as you would, say, if you're pairing the watch with another Galaxy device, which is obviously the optimal use case. But, considering the Apple Watch only works with iOS, I think it's immediately a huge advantage, especially for someone that isn't stuck to one platform exclusively, that maybe swaps phones every year or so and changes ecosystems. It's just a big advantage.
That's a good point. However, there are some features that you are missing out on, aside from the whole pairing thing, but that the Galaxy Watch Active just doesn't have that the Apple Watch does. In this case, a speaker, and that might not be important for you. We've determined that nobody wants to hear Bixby anyway.
No. Hey Bixby. Hey Bixby. Nothing. Hey Bixby. Oh, finally. There we go. Oh, there.
Takes a couple tries.
3 times.
But on the Galaxy Watch, she sounded kind of scary anyway, so we don't want to hear. But it is kind of nice to be able to respond on the go. There's oftentimes I can't find my phone, and I end up taking a call, even though obviously the speaker quality is by no means great on the Series 4. It is convenient to have. It's something I've gotten used to. Also, the LTE option, that's something the Galaxy Watch Active doesn't have. I've gotten used to not taking a phone on a run, and because I feel safe enough that if I really needed to call a Lyft or an Uber, or if I needed to text someone or make a call, I run outside a lot, so that's an important feature for me now that I've gotten used to running phone-free, that I don't get on the Galaxy Watch.
They both work exactly the same when it comes to mobile payments. So both NFC-based Apple Pay and Samsung Pay. Just still upset that there is no MST support on the Galaxy Watch Active, same as the Galaxy Watch. I know I say this and people are like, well, of course it doesn't have MST. But it's the big part of Samsung Pay that is the reason why we want Samsung Pay.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was impressed that even at its price point, I was used to the Fitbit that is the same price point and didn't get as many notifications. You can't do as much with the notifications. I can even reply to a WhatsApp message on the Galaxy Watch Active. So it's pretty good at just mirroring all the notifications and let you take action into the notifications, even at its price point, which was impressive to me.
I noticed that I had the Galaxy Watch Active paired to a Galaxy S10 and the Apple Watch paired to an iPhone 10, and both were on LTE, the phones, both receiving the same notifications from my accounts. I did notice that the Galaxy Watch Active was just a little bit slower to get the actual notification pushed to the watch than the Apple Watch was from the iOS device. Yeah. Both watches let you store music locally, but the Galaxy Watch Active has better Spotify support than the Apple Watch, so you can download entire playlists if you're a premium subscriber. The Apple Watch only gives you basic playback control on Spotify, but you get a lot more options on Apple Music. And if you have the LTE version, you can actually stream your music and podcasts. As for battery life, we tested both during a normal day. With a commute to work, a 45-minute workout, tracking our sleep, having notifications turned on, and listening to a bit of music, we got almost 2 days out of the Galaxy Watch Active, and just under a day and a half on the 40mm Apple Watch. Now, this is by no means scientific, and your mileage may vary, but essentially both will require charging them daily. The Galaxy Watch Active also has a charging superpower if you own a Galaxy S10. You can charge the watch from the back of the phone.
So Vanessa, now we have to make a decision. Is the winner for you the Apple Watch Series 4 or is it the Galaxy Watch Active?
I'm a little torn on this one only because I think the most important feature in a smartwatch, for me at least, are the fitness features. And in that sense, I would give it to the Apple Watch Series 4 if I, wanted to spend on a watch that will be a great fitness companion. I think that one's the winner. It felt just a little bit more seamless. And it also felt like it was more accurate in my tracking based on my usual routes and everything I do on a regular basis. That said, there's a huge drawback, and that's the price. It cannot compete with $200 of the Galaxy Watch Active. And the Galaxy Watch Active, it's a great watch. It's just not at the same level as the Apple Watch, but it's so much cheaper, and I am cheap, and so it's just, that's tearing me up inside.
It's two different playing fields, really.
I love pretty much everything that the Galaxy Watch Active can do. The price point, the fact that it's really light, it works with iOS and Android, even if you don't get everything that you can do on Android, or at least a Galaxy phone on iOS, you still have great functionality there. But then you go to the Apple Watch and it's so much more seamless in terms of setting up, in terms of tracking, navigation even. That bezel, the lack of the bezel on the Galaxy Watch Active from the older and more expensive model really makes a difference in terms of that ease of use of navigation for me. So it's two different price points and two different playing fields. Okay, $200, you cannot go wrong with the Galaxy Watch Active. But if you're on iOS and you're going to spend money on a smartwatch anyway, it's gonna be the Series 4.
But what do you guys think? You've seen the video. Choose your winner and let us know on the comment section below, and come back to CNET's YouTube page for more of these types of verses.